check it out.
Yeah.
All right, let's go around quick and do our player names, our character names, and our class. And what I want to know this week is, what did your character bring in to show and tell when you had it at school? What item or thing was very important to you that you thought you needed to bring in and share with the class? This week we're going to start in the middle. We're going to start with Val. Why don't you go ahead and give us your little character introduction?
Awesome. So my name's Heather. My character is Valqwyn Cruzera. She is a half-elf, or rather half-drow fighter. And I think what she would bring in to show and tell was definitely her father's sword, which she never ever gets to touch because it's very sharp, but she knows that someday she will inherit it. And it's gorgeous. Jewel encrusted, super shiny,
Ooh.
maybe made
Is it in some kind of a like magic
know.
sheath that you can't draw, right? Like you're not allowed to take it out.
Exactly,
You're not
yeah.
supposed
This
to,
is like beautiful, sort
That's
of
pretty
just
cool.
I just hold it very reverently.
Yeah, the sunlight glints off it. Beautiful. All right, let's scoot down the line. We're gonna go to Kevin.
Moss probably brought in a rock. But it's just like, he probably went into this great detail about said rock, and it's just like, you know, where it was from, and its backstory, and who it is, and the places it's been, and what it used to be, and it's a rock, and no one cared.
Right. No one really understood the intricate history.
Supremely excited about said rock, and it was just like, you know, you saw his eyes light up. He's just like, wow, like showing it around. Everyone's just like, whatever. I know Theodore is probably like, shut up, Moss. Get that stinky rock away from me.
Absolutely. And Moss is what race and class again?
Sorry. Moss happens to be a dwarven druid. So he's a self-proclaimed stone whisperer. So I just made it up.
All right.
But it's true.
And then on the far end we have...
I am Jrmi. I am an 8-year-old bard girl.
What race are you?
Oh, yeah, I'm a halfling.
Halfling.
I'm so excited about
Extra tiny.
Halfling
extra
love.
And I think she probably brought in like some of Odo's like patches or medals, or maybe like whatever sash or whatever to show all of the... Odo's her older brother that she idolizes. Probably brought in like his...
Oh, there it is.
Brought in all of his patches and like showed them off and was like, yeah, that's my brother.
That's your brother, Dad. Excellent. So, longtime fans of the Junior Adventurers League may notice we are actually missing one of our junior adventurers. Theodore, played by Cody Bushy, is not here today. May he rest in peace.
This is Cody number 11.
And we'll never explain what happened to Cody. No, but the way I sort of thought it is, I feel like maybe Theodore's father was throwing a very important gala, and he had to have Theodore had to go to that, right? So he's dressed in this. We cut to him in this like super fancy fantasy.
This is my father's party.
Right, my father. When you know my father's running this party, yeah, like,
do you know
like
my
taking like hors d'oeuvres.
This is the party that he was training for with the djinn or the genie.
Absolutely.
Like now he's there, and everyone actually does know who he is and who his father is.
Mm-hmm. It was all just rehearsal for this.
Rehearsal dinner.
I feel like just for
so he's got his gala tonight.
What he's doing.
Yes.
The party be like, we cut to Theodore, and he's.
And then I stopped the basilisk.
Right, yeah, absolutely. All right, cool. So we are going to jump right in, going from there. So basically, you guys are on your own for just a little bit. You just had sort of you were dropped off at the edge of this small town, which is called Rockford. It's just like your standard dirt farming human village. You were instructed to travel through this short little copse of woods to go to this tower and meet the wizard who lives there. Professor Tandivar is his name. Tandivar the Green. He's the instructor who teaches wizardry and, the magical arts at the Gygaxian School of Future Adventurers. But you guys had about an hour to walk through the woods by yourself with no chaperone. So what did you get up to during this sort of 60-minute period where there's no adult looking over your shoulders? It's like idyllic, sort of European forest. There's birds chittering. It's summer. It's nice out. Well, give me a little description what your character's up to.
I think Val was bringing up the rear and just playing with her scimitars, just kind of like spinning them around and doing like weird little poses every now and then, and just like
fighting
absolutely.
trees.
Yeah, exactly. Like beating at like little bushes, sharpening them every now and then.
That's beautiful. Totally. What about Moss and Jrmi?
I went second last time, so it's your turn.
Fine.
Oh, it's Jrmi's turn.
I'm doing more song dedications with my
Oh,
kazoo.
my.
I feel like got a lot better at it after Waheed's. So.
Are you like in the front?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I probably have.
Who are they,
a few times. You can find me.
Oh yeah, I can hear that
I'm
kazoo.
findable.
Who are they dedicated to this time?
Just whatever I see. It's basically just like 20. Like I spy myself. So I'm just like trees.
Birds and trees and rocks and squirrels.
Also the
Yeah.
kazoo. So yeah.
Oh my
Right.
god.
A lot of that, or like narrating what people are doing. You know, like Val is doing poses. Moss has more rocks. He's a badger for a while, I guess, for no reason.
No rhyme scheme, no internal meter. It's just pandemonium through this kazoo.
It'll like
Beautiful.
peter out and be quiet, and then get really loud.
Moss is probably like he's probably used to the woods by now, but he's still like he grew up in underground, and so he's used to rocks and rocky terrain and the wilds of essentially the Underdark, and so like he's
Totally.
probably having a blast running through the woods, but like you'll hear him like crash through some bushes and like he's chasing stuff and just doing
Yeah, you see him kind of run past screen
Yeah.
and disappear again, right? Every once
he's
in
in
a
the
while.
background. All of a sudden he'll like just trip, boom, and like just face first into mud, and then he just like rolls out like he's having a good time.
I think he definitely has to do that thing that little kids do when they fall over, where there's that moment when you're not sure if they're gonna cry or not. They like fall and they go, and then they're fine, right? Like he has to have that second. That's beautiful.
Fall and like look
Cool.
over and see if anyone else is panicking. It's like, should I panic? And I know like he's probably particularly excited because they're going to a place called Roxford, and he just heard he was like, this place has got to be terrific.
Yeah. So far, the rocks at Rockford are pretty normal rocks.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know everything about them, right? They're igneous in some areas.
Yeah.
There's some, like, hint of volcanic, ash.
He was.
But,
I know he's looking for that one rock that's gonna know something
Yeah.
special. So
Absolutely. So you guys are instructed to head towards this tower. After about an hour of walking through the woods, nothing leaps out at you. There are no owl bear encounters. You manage to make it to the area that you're supposed to. Obviously, it's pretty clear to see where it is, as it's this big tower rising up in the middle of the forest. You know that the person you're meeting, Professor Tandivar, is again kind of on summer sabbatical. He's on leave. He's off, researching in his tower. So you're basically coming to this clearing. This tower of faded green stone stands in the middle of the clearing. It is in an advanced and bizarre state of disrepair. Several of the tower's windows have clearly been blown away by fire, leaving great black scorch marks on the stone. There's a gigantic vine, I guess is the best word for it, that goes sort of creeping up out of the earth and wrapping around the tower, and you can see that it's like sort of pulsing this weird purple light. It's obviously magical. All of these strange runes and like unreadable phrases are kind of flashing randomly like neon signs across the brick, like not really saying anything, just almost like they're malfunctioning. And most notably, coming out of the roof, there's just this like stream of endless big blue butterflies just pouring out of holes in the roof, just endlessly. They don't go super far, but they just kind of like disappear into the clouds. And you're just kind of staring at like, what the hell is with this place? Basically, yeah. The tower's front door is just this massive and wooden, and it's like covered all in claw marks, like all up and down it. You see in the middle there's like a knocker that appears to be made from kind of an ornately carved and painted goblin skull. It's kind of sneering back at you guys. What do you do?
There's a volcano of butterflies coming out the roof.
I think Moss will probably just like he'll take a look at the thing and then just be like, okay, and then he'll trundle over there and
as you like hit the knocker, you see the knocker's kind of like trying to say something, but it has the like ring in its mouth.
I'll take it out.
What's the password?
Butterfly.
party above all.
Yes.
Ah, of course. No. Okay, I'll give you a clue. What are the material components for a MILF's acid arrow?
Can I look in my book?
Yes. You can look in the Adventurer's Handbook if you wish. It's an intelligence arcana check. If you have the book, you have advantage on that roll.
12.
Wait, what?
12.
Yeah.
For Arcana? You plus 1?
Yeah. Oh, 12.
Yeah.
You're looking around, and the spell section is so long. It's like almost like supernaturally long.
So
like there are more
boring.
pages in there than there can physically be. Yeah, you get really bored flipping around in there.
Does the druid want to help?
No.
Because Val's just kind of like...
I think, like, Moss will finally, like... Moss will look around sheepishly and pull out his book, and it is just waterlogged,
Yeah.
moldy,
dirty.
dirt, just awful. Like, obviously, it's never really been used, but it's seen some use. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
he probably
When you open it, like a beetle crawls out of it, right? Like, yeah.
Moss will probably
Totally.
grab it, pick it up by name. It's like, Leroy.
Totally right back. Okay, yeah, you can look with advantage.
With advantage,
Arcana.
that puts me at a gentleman's 13.
13. Alas, you also cannot seem to
I
find
know,
it. Like, there are a lot of the pages are torn or missing, right?
Even the magical ones that should be there just aren't there anymore.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Right.
somehow Moss has just wrecked this thing, so it's just like... Well,
I'm sorry, without the password, I can't in good conscience let you inside.
What's the professor's name again that we're looking for?
Tandivar.
Yep.
So Tandivar. Tandivar the Green.
We're here to see Professor Tandivar.
Well, if Professor Tandivar wanted you to enter, he would have given you the password, wouldn't he?
Party Bova!
You've tried that.
Oh.
Please?
Yeah.
That's not it either. What are the
We're
material
here for the
components
party.
for a Melf's acid arrow?
It's acid, wood, milk.
Milk.
Isn't that what you were saying? Milk's acid. arrow?
Melf's
Oh, so
acid
it's
arrow.
a little bit of milk. Acid.
The goblet is like a skull on the door, but it somehow manages to hang its head. Like,
And wood.
if you guys would like to try to persuade your way in,
Yeah,
you can make
let's
some
try
charisma check,
that.
or give me a perception as well.
Nat 20!
Nice.
I'll try a persuasion since
Sure.
I don't need anyone to see anything. I got a 22.
I'm sorry, say that again.
22.
22? Awesome.
So bad.
So, Moss, you are standing there, right, and you were looking in your book, and you can't find the answer in there, but you do kind of look up, and you see that horrible purple vine that's coming out of the ground and is twisting around, and you see that it basically crawls into the sort of second-story window, and you actually notice that most of the windows that kind of intermittently throughout the tower have been smashed. It doesn't look like it would be too difficult for you to get inside the tower a different way, if you don't want to try to go through the door, whether up the vine or through any of the other smashed windows. However, Jrmi, you're 22, obviously it's going to be pretty successful. What do you think you say that manages to finally convince this door to open?
I probably just keep saying why not whenever he says that's not it. I just keep putting the endless loop of why not? But why not? But why though? But why not? Why?
Hey,
What?
Smelly! He kind of gestures over towards Moss. Give me my ring back.
I have it actually.
Oh, Val,
Yeah.
excuse me. Can you give me my ring back, darling? He opens his mouth.
Okay.
And then you can use the ring or whatever to pull the doorway
Awesome.
open.
Perfect.
Awesome. Cool.
Thank
You guys are.
you.
You're welcome. You guys go into the chamber, I assume?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'll get my torch out.
Yeah, you step through the door into a round chamber that is approximately 40 feet across. There are no windows on this level, but light does stream down from a courtyard in the center of the tower that appears to be open all the way up to the top of the tower. The chamber appears to be a sitting room or a parlor, and has obviously been arranged with kind of lush furnishings. So these like dark mahogany end tables and these red velvet chairs and divans, these very richly woven carpets on the floor. Everything in sight, however, has been ripped and shredded and tattered. There's like feathers lying everywhere, like strewn all around. All the velvet is like raked with all these different claw marks. Several of the rugs have kind of been partially unraveled. It kind of looks like a cat went like berserk in the room and just clawed the shit out of everything. Otherwise, you don't see any other sign of people. There's like the courtyard in the middle that goes up through the center of the tower. What do you guys want to do?
I wanted to try a nature check to see if I could figure out what kind of animal it could be. I'm not
Go
great
for
at
it.
nature, but let's give it a go. Oh, I got a nat 20.
Nice, beautiful.
Woohoo.
Okay, so the answer to this question is going to depend a little bit on some of Val's backstory. So I know that you are a half drow. Do you know anything about your like drow culture, or
Not so
are you
much.
kind of like?
So, my mother was drow, and she died in childbirth, and I was raised in a band of mercenaries, kind of. So there was like a drow guy helping with them, but I'm no more on my like human side, and there were like some high elves that were with us too. So
Got it. Okay, so probably you would have learned this then in class. You can go and you can look at those claw marks. They're kind of scratched all over everywhere. With your nat 20, you instantly know that it wasn't like the claw marks are a weird enough pattern that they're definitely not like a cat, and they're certainly not even an earthly animal. You maybe like audited some class or took some class your first year that was about demons and demonology. You think that this was made by like a small kind of a fiend, possibly like an imp, clawed this whole place up. You just like the arrangement of the claws are too weird, and you can like smell a little bit of brimstone right in the scratches. Yeah, you instantly know. Oh wait, I remember from my demonology class. This is an imp was responsible. Yeah.
I tell you guys. So this was not a cat. I want to be on guard. There's some like demonic-y thingy going on here. Just
I was probably about to go, hello! I was probably about to scream it when you say that.
Yeah, no.
like once he hears that, Moss will probably just look around and then like comically just pull this like his big warhammer from his back. It's just a rock on a stick, but it's
a stick. Yeah.
But he's just like
beautiful.
And we're on.
Are you guys being quiet, or are you just kind of being loud? I know Jrmi was interrupted from screaming hello, but I'm not sure how quiet you guys are being.
Breath and was about to scream my traditional hello.
I don't think we as a crew have ever truly appreciated the beauty of stealth. So I'm going to keep true to that and just not worry about it.
Yeah.
Awesome. What do you guys want to do in this chamber then?
I want to look around and see if there's any. I don't know what Moss would look for, actually.
Yeah.
Especially if you already know it's an ice method. I don't think Moss cares. He's like, okay.
Yeah. I kind of want to just do a perception, like see if I hear anything.
Sounds good. Yeah.
In any direction. Oh my gosh, 22.
22? Did you roll a 20?
19.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so you hear a couple of things. If you guys kind of move around the room, Jrmi, what are you up to? Just so I know for context what you're doing.
I'm probably like skirting the walls to try and like. Are there any like chambers or stairs or anything?
No, it's like one big room, and that's the thing. You don't notice any stairs going up. Like there's this courtyard that seems to go all the way up to the ceiling of the top of the tower, but you don't see any other entrances.
I'm probably heading towards the courtyard so that I can like look up directly.
Beautiful, cool. This will work out great then. So, Val, you're kind of walking around and like listening, trying to get a sense of the room. You can hear anything. You do hear like really, really faintly, like a like some kind of a quiet snoring somewhere in the room, but you don't really know where it is exactly with your even with your 22, you can't like. It's almost like you can hear it kind of everywhere. Jrmi, as you step kind of into the middle of this room, you hear from up above, and actually all of you guys would hear this. Murder! Murder! Like you hear this like very avian like cry from above you, but it's definitely the word murder.
Yeesh.
Murder!
Freaky.
Hello!
Oh no!
It echoes through the whole tower. You hear Val, the snoring stops.
Jrmi.
I forgot.
Murder! Jrmi, if you're standing in the courtyard, you kind of see like, basically you can look straight up and you see that all of the different levels of the tower, it's like 5 stories high, they're all like, they all basically have the same courtyard. So you can kind of peek up into the other rooms that go all the way up to the top of the tower. And on the very top level, right around the edge, you see like a tiny black form kind of peers over the edge and caws, murder, and flaps its wings at you. Looks like a crow or a raven of some kind.
Come here!
Jrmi, I don't know if we want to make friends with a murder bird.
We don't know that he's a murder bird.
Okay.
He only knows one word. Maybe it was taught to him by somebody. Maybe it's bad. I'm gonna run out of the circle like anyway.
Fair.
Still age. Just like,
I think I'd like to. Moss is curious now, so with his warhammer, with his war rock out, he'll. Are there any
Rock
stairs?
hammer.
Are there like circle stairs or?
There's no stairs, so there's just this hole basically that goes from the bottom of the tower, and it like punctures through each one of the 5 levels and ends at the ceiling. That makes sense of the 5th
do we have a
level.
view of that purple vine anywhere? Or that, like, pulsing?
Not from in here. No.
I think Moss actually would probably bring that up. It's like, well, there's the vine goes to 2nd floor outside.
Yeah. Do you want to try to find it?
Fly!
Huh?
Fly!
Can we-
F-L-Y.
He
Fly.
knows more than one word.
He does.
It's a smart
Still
bird.
a little weird.
Not a murder bird.
No, I'm not convinced yet.
He's a murder fly bird.
Do you have some way that we could fly to the next level?
Fly!
We don't have wings.
Yeah. Moss will look around. I'm gonna look around to see if there's anything that could help us get up there, like a rope or
Sure. Good perception.
flying device.
What's the other
Otherwise,
one?
modified 21.
Yeah, the thing is, there's nothing. Like, what you would notice with your 21 is that there's nothing on this level, and you don't think that, based on the shape and the design of the tower, there would be any stairs on any other level either. Right? There's no rope, there's no ladder, there's no nothing. But clearly you're able to get to these different rooms because there's things on them, right?
Yeah.
But is there anything
Just
like
kind of open well.
strange things on the floor then with the 21 that I see?
With the perception? Sure. So there's nothing on the floor, but you get this very weird. You notice you're kind of looking around, and when you're standing in the courtyard, which is kind of this like hexagonal shape, you have this like slightly tingly feeling. When you're standing outside of the courtyard, you don't feel it. So you only notice when you come back and forth a couple of times. It's almost like your hair kind of stands on end. It's not quite goosebumps, but it's sort of that same tingly feeling. Only when you're in the courtyard.
I just love picturing Moss doing that. It's just like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just-
go back and forth.
I think
What do you guys do?
he'll get there and then like he'll the tingly feeling. I don't know if he'll make this connection. So I'm gonna roll for Moss because I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know if he'll make the connection. He did. So I think he'll like walk in, walk back out, and then walk back in, and then I think he'll just give it like a hop.
Totally.
Yeah.
So Moss hops and floats in the air.
what? That's awesome.
He just hangs there.
I think
gonna
now
run
he's
over
panicking though because he's much. So he's just like got this warhammer and it's just his little feet just.
I was gonna come over and kind of like poke him.
He was kind of like zero gravity style drift a little away from
Yeah.
him, right?
Can I do some sort of parkour maneuver up Val and off of Moss to jump
Yes. Acrobatics, please.
in the air? Oh, that sucks. All right, I got a 7.
You
I
trip
rolled
on
a
that.
2.
So you kind of just like overshoot the velocity, like you end up going too fast, right? And so you're kind of like scrambling up, and yeah, you're totally 0G the minute you leave the ground, and you can kind of scramble up Moss and then or up Val and off Moss. And you kind of go like shooting off in a random direction. So like yeah, there's the different layers of the tower. I'm gonna say that you basically make it onto the 2nd level, but you're basically out of control. And the minute that you like puncture through and onto the 2nd floor, the like anti-gravity stops. You're gonna fall. And you take 1 point of damage as you boom land awkwardly on the next floor.
So it's probably like quiet, and then you guys hear.
Just over the ledge, you can't see her, and then just.
Alright, Val's not board yet, so Val's gonna take a little like step and like jump up too. Do you want me to do strength or anything?
You actually don't have to. If you just think about flying, you fly.
Awesome.
So if you want to make it look cool, you can do it acrobatics. But if you just want to go up there, you just can do it without thinking about it. Yeah.
I have my like shield and sword, and I just like jump up towards you.
Awesome. What about you, Moss? You gonna come up too, or are you
I
still
think
kind of?
that like now that she's pushed off, Moss probably like laying on his back on the floor, and
Yeah.
he's probably like watched Val do this really cool move, and he's got his hammer still, and he's like, man, I wish I could just fly up to the 2nd floor, and then he probably just like on his back just starts floating.
Yeah, just start floating up.
Just from
Absolutely.
thinking about it, he's like, oh no!
Totally. Cool. So yeah, you guys can all kind of like meet on the second floor. Let me scroll down here. The second floor of the tower appears to be a library, dominated by rows and rows of bookshelves. The chamber appears to be trashed, however. Several of the bookshelves have been toppled completely, spilling their contents. Books of every conceivable size and shape, from thin volumes to fat grimoires, lie strewn about everywhere, some of them torn and ripped. In one corner, an armchair lies flopped on its side, and its clawed feet are kind of animate and sort of pawing helplessly at the air, like it can't get up. What do you guys want to do?
I want to help the chair up.
Yeah, poor little thing.
Okay, yeah, you can go and right the chair. But you're sitting there, right, Jrmi? You're still crying.
I've come to comfort her. It's okay, Jrmi, you okay? Does it what hurts? You okay?
Everything.
Don't worry.
I'm fine.
What would Odo do?
You're right.
Yeah.
What would Odo do?
WWOD.
WWOD.
W-WAD.
W-WAD.
Even better.
Yeah, this totally trash library. There's the little book, the little desk sitting over there. Excuse me, the desk. There's the little chair sitting over there with its like clawed legs. At the wall, yeah. What do you guys want to do?
Do you want to go help it, Jrmi?
Yeah.
We can go. Yeah, we can go help it.
Okay, yeah. So it's like big and like well constructed, like a really high-backed chair made from kind of dark black wood and like red leather upholstery. It doesn't even really take much of an action. You can like pretty easily ride it, and it will kind of like once its claws touch the ground, it kind of like staggers, like stops. It kind of shifts back and forth, like it's being cornered or whatever, and then it kind of settles back down. It'll like pad over by Jrmi and like kind of wiggle as though suggesting you should sit in it.
Aww.
I will do this.
Cool. Yeah, you can sit in the chair, and it will just kind of like snuggle you as best it can, right? Yeah, it seems very affectionate.
Do you have a name?
The chair kind of like wiggles a no.
Okay.
Cute. Need to name him. Plushie.
No.
No.
Cherry.
Chair.
Cherry the chair.
Share in the chair.
It could be
What are Moss and Val gonna do? Well,
So the rest of this
Oh, no.
thing is trashed?
the whole library is just smashed to pieces. Yeah, you can make like a perception or investigation if you want to search for anything. more than that, but
Moss will do like a glancing look around.
That's perception.
Yeah,
then,
perception. He got a 9.
definitely. Yeah, you're basically kind of fascinated by the chair. That's the only thing that really seems to be moving
Yeah.
in this room. Yeah,
Moss is pretty bored by libraries, for obviously.
fair. Yeah,
So-
clearly.
He'll probably like
Reading.
walk over to some other like stuff, just like hammer, just like just poke at stuff.
Yeah, prodding books and bookcases.
Yeah,
Yeah. What about you, Val?
I'm over by Plushie. I'm
No.
just gonna... I'm over by Jrmi and the cool chair. I'm just like, if only he was named Plushie.
I'm gonna call him George.
George the chair.
George the chair.
Got it.
Perfect.
Jrmi, what are you gonna do now that you're sitting in George the chair?
George.
What's the plan?
Where should we go? What's cool here?
George seems a little confused at first, and then George kind of like trots over to one of the bookcases that's not knocked over, and it's kind of like nudges the bookcase.
Aw, I love
do a
George.
perception
He's
check of the
cute.
bookcase to see if I see any
Sure.
notable volumes.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
I guess that's a different check. Noticeable volumes.
Oh no.
5?
They're all really big, and you don't feel like too many of them have pictures in them. Like, you get the sense that, like, basically George's job is just to, like, carry the guy who lives here around so he doesn't have to, like, walk between bookcases, right? Like, he animated the chair so that way he can stay in the chair and it can, like, lead him, oh, I need to go get this book, and it goes over there.
What is my purpose? You pass butter.
So George just seems really happy to, like, bring you between bookcases. Like, unless you stop George, George will, like, go to the next bookcase and, like, stand there kind of excitedly. Yeah.
Okay.
George, are there any books that we should check out that are really good about this place?
George will kind of shift back and forth and then trot across the room and use one of its claws to pick up a book from the floor, like, or pawing at the book on the floor.
Cool, I'll go grab it.
You can pick that book up. It's like purple and it's very nice, like leather bound. The text or the title reads, A Knave's Guide to Summoning by Xantoris Whelm. You know the Knave's Guide series is kind of a like, it's the Idiot's Guide, effectively, right? It's a whole bunch of different books about different kinds of magic that this guy writes, this extremely pretentious, like, assuming that you're a moron and don't know anything about illusions, like that kind of
So
It'll be
Theodore's father
excellent for
wrote
me.
Yeah, it's his actually Theodore's
Perfect.
father. It's his
Made
famous
his
book
fortune.
line.
Yeah, Xantoris Whelm is the author. Speaking of that, like, there's this dramatic moment when you're holding it and you're looking at it and you hear, Whelm! Whelm! From above.
God,
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I think Moss is like now kind of used to flying. I think he might be like looking out over the thing. I think he's gonna traverse up. He's bored of this library.
Okay. You want to go up to the next floor or all the way up to the
I
top?
think
Or
he's
where do you want
interested
to
in
go?
this talking murder bird.
Okay, sure. So the moth like steps off the side and just
Yeah.
up and out of sight. What about Jrmi and Val? You guys want to go with, or you want to stay
I'm
here?
gonna put the book in my bag because that's cool.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna run and just jump into the light.
What about you, Jrmi?
George, do you ever use that light fly thingy?
George gets real nervous and scoots away from it.
Okay. Will you stay here and then I'll come back later? We'll hang out.
He like tips forward, back and forth, which you approximate to be a nod.
Okay. I'll jump into the light too and like.
Okay, cool.
I don't want to die.
Awesome. So you guys can float past a couple of rooms. You get like a brief look at them as you go by. You see one room. The next room is like got all kinds of like alchemical stuff on tables laid out. Looks like some kind of laboratory. The room past that has like a bunch of braziers burning in like big magic circles. You imagine some kind of summoning room. But then you can come up to the top where the murder bird was squatting. And as you guys are rising up, you see the bird kind of like flaps away. Like, God damn it, they're coming. Like that seems to be its vibe. You ascend up to the top level, what appears to be the tower's top floor, obviously. This chamber is clearly the wizard's living quarters. One corner of the room is dominated by a massive curtained bed, right, that's like partially open. There's a fireplace against one wall that's like roaring with like pink flame, but you don't remember seeing like a chimney from the outside, so you're not really sure where that's going. Maybe that's just pouring out butterflies, you have no idea. There's a small study in one corner, and there's like a writing desk and a book, like a smaller bookshelf that's kind of on the opposite side. Slumped over that writing desk, there's a body. Head, face first on the desk. You see that like toppled off of their head is like a pointy wizard's hat that's spilled out. And the body's like dressed in green robes. It looks like there's like a bunch of spilled food. At first you think it might be like vomit, but it looks like it's just porridge that kind of poured out of a bowl. And then like as you guys get there, kind of squatting on the back of the chair that the body is sitting in is the raven. Just like looking at you very intently. Like looks down at the body and looks back at you. Murder!
Can I do a medicine check on the dude?
Yeah, absolutely.
Professor! 6.
Yeah.
Oof.
I too will do a
Oof.
medicine
That's
check.
a dead guy. This is the first time Jordy's seen like a dead body.
I got a mod 23.
Nice.
So you're just
Awesome.
like, I don't know.
I
it's
probably
weird."
touched him and he wasn't sleeping. I was like, ah!
Right. You went, hello!
Wake up!
So you got 23, Moss.
Yeah.
There are a couple different things you notice. You can tell right away the wizard's been dead like probably 2 to 3 days, and it's kind of just started to smell. Like that's the first thing you notice.
Moss rolls in
when
the
you-
smell. You know, it's to get it
Yeah,
on him.
definitely.
Oh, God.
I made it up.
But,
He does not do that.
Oh, okay.
God.
I was right there. You can, it was like a middle-aged human, got kind of like a sharp sort of goatee. You definitely would recognize Professor Tandavar. This is the guy you were supposed to meet. You can kind of like pull his face back, and get a look at him. His eyes are wide open, and the pupils are rolled back. But you can see that like his mouth is like almost like sealed shut like this, and his nostrils are also sealed shut. It's this very weird face, like you're not really sure what the hell would cause that, and it kind of freaks you out when you look at it.
Yeah.
But you also, when you're over there, you can see, because you got such a good roll for 23, you can see that he looks like he was eating a bowl of porridge, and it like spilled out and went everywhere, and you can smell this like faint metallic, unnatural smell around the porridge. I think it was probably poison. You don't know with what without another roll of some kind, but like you just like instantly CSI that thing. You have like black light.
Iocane powder. I bet my life on it.
Yeah, exactly. That you literally just go into CSI mode. Totally.
Is a porridge? Is it someone poisoned a porridge and then now he's dead?
He looks freaky.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, I've seen dead people, but like that's.
Yeah, they haven't been this clean when I've seen them.
Thelmiel!
Thelmiel?
Thelmiel!
Can you lead us to Thelmiel?
The raven kind of bristles.
Would I know is that a name that we would be aware of at all?
You could roll an Arcana check. Very difficult DC, but you could try.
I got a 12.
Okay.
7, so I probably know.
Definitely no.
I know everything.
Yeah, no, it doesn't sound familiar to either of you. You wouldn't even know like the origin of it or what language it's in. No.
Is this Arcana? Screw it.
Arcana, yep.
I got 11.
No, alas.
I think
No, you did not.
I think Moss might do another smell, like a proper like investigation on the on the porridge.
On the porridge?
Yeah.
Please do. You can use medicine or nature if you
I
want.
choose medicine.
Please do. Wisdom based.
A nat 1.
Oh no. So okay, here's what happens. You take like a scoop of it, like the porridge, and you sniff it, and then your nostrils close.
Oh.
And you would just go, like, get the hell away from you, right? So if you take like a minute or two, you can kind of like massage your nostrils back open and they'll work again. But I feel like you're just too freaked out by that, right? Like, yeah, nope.
Don't go near the porridge. That's bad.
You look kind of weird.
Yeah. I like. He's got a big, like, fat, dwarf nose too, so it looks even weird. It's like, just...
Actually, Moss, if you want to roll me a nature check, I will give you advantage on this. It's actually kind of relevant to you.
That is a mod 19 for nature.
Okay, yeah. So having that happen to you and smelling it and putting it together, you know that there is a particular kind of poison that, ironically, drow make called lockjaw tincture. And basically what it does, it's made from certain mushrooms that grow in the Underdark. And basically what it does is it seals up your airways. It like closes your nose and closes your mouth and like doesn't allow you to breathe. So you suffocate slowly.
Yeah, that sounds
right,
terrible.
because you can't get any oxygen in. Yeah, real bad.
Yeah.
Someone's been
And then,
watching Fringe.
Oh my gosh. There we go. So I think Moss will be like, and he's like freaked out, and then like he'll turn around and he's like, Professor Barkwood, when we were in class, he said something like a poison.
I'm already bored. God.
No. It's like drow make it.
That's just my genetics.
Well, I'm just saying.
I don't know anything about that.
It's like.
How do we fix him?
Oh no, he's dead.
What?
Whelm!
What did Bert say?
Whelm!
Whelm.
The book. Which is the
Oh,
name
my
of
book.
The book.
All right. I pull out the book.
So it is a book, and it says Knave's Guide to Summoning by Xantoris
Well,
Whelm.
open it.
Like, I don't. Here, someone else read it. I don't know.
Moss will pick it up and look for the lockjaw tincture in the back, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Give me an intelligence check to search it.
Oh boy.
I'm just gonna go wander around the entire rest of the chamber.
Moss is not well acquainted with books.
No.
7.
Doesn't really make sense. Yeah, you can't find it.
Intelligence check?
Intelligence.
Intelligence. Yep.
Oh, damn it.
All right, fine. All right.
There's so many long words in there, Jrmi, and there's no pictures.
No, I got 7. No, it's 5.
All right.
The Raven seems like annoyed. guys like being able to figure it out. Thelmiel!
Thelmiel. Okay.
Can I try a like a charisma check on this bird?
Yeah, animal handling probably is what it would be, unless you have something else in mind.
Oh, I've got animal handling.
You tell me what you're gonna do, Jrmi, and I'll tell you what skill it is.
I was just gonna try and talk to it more and be like, "Can you give us any other kinds of clues? Because clearly these are not enough."
Okay.
Yeah.
Fly around or anything like.
May I assist? If is that possible?
Totally. So you can roll a charisma check, Jrmi, and I will let Moss assist. So you roll an animal handling, and basically whoever gets higher will use that one.
Okay. Mod 23.
Okay.
Yeah. The animal handling definitely wins.
Animal handling.
So Jrmi, you're like making the pitch, and you do see the bird is like kind of paying attention to you, but it will fly over towards Moss and kind of like hang out with you, Moss, maybe on your shoulder or your hat or something like that. It kind of like looks at you, cocks its head, and then it will like flap down another floor.
Oh, that's
like flaps down the hole and into another floor below you. Yeah.
Yeah, Moss will follow him, and like he'll just follow. He'll be like, okay.
Yeah, me
too. Just walks off the side again.
Yeah, it's just like, I think he's getting used to the like. He's still not so sure about it, but he's just like, whee. Yeah.
Totally.
And I'm just all about jumping in that line again. Woo!
Jrmi, I assume you go with the whole group goes.
Cannonball, sort of.
Oh, cannonball. So you guys can go down and basically land on the floor below, immediately below. The tower's 4th floor is warmer and appears to be lit by a number of these sort of bright braziers burning in the room's 4 corners. Adjacent to each one of these braziers has been etched like a wide arcane symbol on the floor. They have like different patterns. One's a star, one's a couple of triangles, whatever. The room has really sparse furnishings beyond that, but they've nonetheless been totally wrecked. They're like kind of sort of candles broken and rolling all across the floor. Someone has like scribbled what looks like really profane symbols and like graffiti and chalk all over the room everywhere. You see like when you first come down, there's like a bunch of loose bones at your feet. You can like kind of follow those bones over and see that there were like a pair of like display, like classroom style skeletons that were up. One of them has been knocked over. The other one is still standing.
Are they human or
when you guys come into the room, you see the bird has like flapped across the room and is like basically squatting in the middle of one of these summoning one of these like circles, arcane symbols on the floor. Thelmiel!
It's a smart fucking bird.
Is that who you are?
That'd be cool.
Shakes its head back.
Is that who murdered?
Murder!
Thelmiel did the murder? That's rude. Where'd he go?
Do I see? I still have the book, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I still had the book, and so I think Moss actually might look for the symbol on the ground that the bird's looking, because he's like,
Yeah. Intelligence with advantage.
Oh no.
I got an 8.
Okay. There's so many like to say there weren't any pictures, I guess, isn't necessarily accurate. The book is filled with diagrams, but they're also like, look at these two, figure A and figure B, but they're like almost no difference that you can tell. They're just summoning circles, right? Like,
Moss will get like page 1 reference, page 2, and he's like walking over to the thing, and on the 3rd page he'll just drop the book. It's just whatever.
What do you guys want to do?
I'll go put it back in my bag and be like, screw it, we'll look at this later. I want to go towards the Raven and like perception or something, like whatever, to see like what he's like sitting in, like what substance might be around there.
Yeah, sure. You could do perception, I guess. I mean, he's right in the middle of one of the circles.
This is hard without a magic user. Meta.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like Arcana? Like, so he's like right in the middle of.
You could do an Arcana to try to figure out like what the circle would be used for, or that kind of a thing. Yeah, but probably not a perception.
There it is.
Arcana,
You're definitely the best one for Arcana.
I'm not. I'm the worst for this. A 4.
Oh my god! What's hilarious is that
it's a pretty symbol. What's that?
Yeah,
bird?
it's actually really pretty. Like you could totally see this as a tattoo, right? Like that's what you're thinking about.
Ooh, I got a spot right here. I don't even have to be
Absolutely. You get distracted by the cool imagery.
Oof, yeah, that'd be fun. Maybe that's
it's funny to me because it's not only that you guys are bad at this, but you're also like rolling like garbage, right?
Just
like it's not
horribly.
The DCs here aren't hard, but like I can't justify like, well, I rolled a 6. Yeah, you figure it out. Like no, you failed.
Can I go stand
What do you guys want to do?
Different circle. Just go stand in it and say, crap, what's that bird been saying?
Thelmiel?
Thelmiel.
Yeah.
Let's go stand in one and say that.
Sure, screw it.
And I'll start screaming murder and a bunch of other things I've heard it say.
You're just standing there screaming about
You were literally parroting a bird. She's being a parrot.
You guys hear like a tremendous crash from below you, and what sounds like a bunch of like flames.
Oh, shit.
The raven gets really agitated, goes, Thelmiel, and like flaps out and then goes up to the top
you
floor.
guys, I think it's the amp or the demonic thing, whatever.
Huh.
We might want to stay up here.
I hope George is okay.
This is right after she yelled Thelmiel in the circle, right?
It was like basically if this was a movie, you would have done that a whole bunch and yelled, "Hello, Thelmiel, whatever, murder!" in the circle. There would have been like a long pause where nothing happened, and then there was an explosion, right? So there was like a silent beat of like, well, when something blew up.
Oh shit!
We're gonna take our break right there, and we'll come back in about 5 minutes.
After the demonic explosion.
I really have to go to the bathroom, so I'm gonna do that. But then I'll be right back to talk to you some more chat. Someone should stay and entertain the chat. I'll be back in like 1 second.
Yeah.
Hey, chat.
What's up?
I hope you're enjoying our blundering through what is clearly meant to be sort of a more Theodweird gear session.
Yeah, this is bad timing.
I should mention that next week we will not be having a stream. We are down that week, but Timothy and I are going to try and figure out something that we can do maybe during the week to make up for it. So I'm sure we'll post about that, but just a heads up.
It's
Hope you're
just
having a
like
good
30
Easter.
seconds of you guys dancing. Really, really dorkily. The whole time. Especially Timothy in his like sweater.
Yeah, he'll do
Like
his
them.
octopus dance.
Yes!
I'm going to ask him about it, but it's like that. It's a thing. He gets
Just
his legs
30 seconds
involved,
straight
and
of that.
It's really funny. So
On repeat.
I feel like chat should ask him to do his octopus dance.
Yes, 100%.
But I also don't know if he's looking at chat today because I am.
We are. But you guys should totally do it and we'll bring it up.
Say Heather totally wants to do it.
A dance intro video, yes! Yes, of all of us
We'll
just
wear
doing
like
our
our
tokens.
jazzercise leotards with our leg warmers and huge hair.
Yes.
I am back.
Hey, nothing happened.
Nothing.
You guys
Nothing at
have
all.
permission to go to the bathroom if you want, because I can entertain the chat while you're gone. So
Maybe
you have my permission,
Nah.
because that's how it works.
Swap out the candy.
Do it. You eat that
All right.
Snickers. Yeah.
In honor of you.
Oh, Snickers!
Snickers. Oh no! Feels. For those of you who were not here last week, there was a very sad parting with an elderly tiger animal companion named Snickers,
I mean, he's
who
fine.
elected to
He's
stay
fine.
behind the Jin's endless party.
He'll live forever.
He will live forever, probably.
Let's cut to the Jin. Him and Snickers are just hanging out. The Jin's
Yeah,
trying to like converse.
it's literally just the two of them like staring
Snickers
at
is
each
just
other.
like asleep, but he's just like,
This is
blah,
hell
blah,
asleep.
blah, blah.
I'm much happier, even though the tiger has been
He's
asleep
probably
the
like even
entire
attempted
time.
turning into a lion himself, just to like
Just try to have
liven
some
Snickers
sort of
up, and he's
Yeah,
probably just
right.
like sitting there like,
Ridiculous.
I should not have made this bargain.
This was a terrible bargain.
At least he has someone to talk to now.
Yeah, right, finally. If you had not seen that adventure last week, you can go and check it out on our YouTube channel. Also, if you feel like making a donation, you guys can go ahead and donate. There's the link right there. Again, $2 can heal one of our heroes for 1d12 plus 2 damage. $4 will give a hero an automatic natural 20. And $6 to activate one hero's special ability. Extra wild shape, extra bardic inspiration, or plus 1d6 to athletics and acrobatics for dramatic poses.
Yeah.
Awesome. Obviously, we have a little bit of smaller chat today, kind of a more intimate thing because of the holiday, but that's totally cool. Totally cool.
Cutscene of theater.
Sorry, say that again? I missed it.
Cutscene of theater.
Oh, yeah, right. Absolutely. No Theodweir. Everyone's like, what?
Yes,
No.
yes, it is my father's party. Yes, thank you. That is my name. Yes, I am
Break, I
Theodore.
could call him.
Well, yes, of course.
See what he's up to.
I think actually since we're at halftime, it's probably the party's probably turning on him. Everyone's getting kind of annoyed and like business is
Yeah.
getting down. It's like,
What's with this? What's with
no,
this
it's
brat?
paying attention to me.
But I have my orb.
Look at my orb, everyone.
My lovely orb.
My orb. Okay. All right, we're going to jump right back in then, junior adventurers. We'll continue with our adventure. So yeah, you guys are on the 4th floor, the summoning chamber, and you've heard directly below you this big explosion. What sounded like fire. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna hide for once.
You're gonna hide?
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump into that light with my sword and shield drawn and like kind of go down to the second floor.
Yeah, like just creep down.
Check it out.
Sure.
I'm gonna like hover like right below the second floor.
Okay. Give me a stealth check then, Val.
14.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty solid. All right. So you descend down to the lower floor of the tower and discover it again to be some manner of magical laboratory. In keeping with the theme, of course, the room has been trashed. The chamber's 3 circular wooden tables have been knocked over and their contents are scattered across the floor. In the room, you can see that 3 of the 4 windows have been shattered. Their sills kind of blackened with soot. As you look, you see that what that explosion presumably was is one of the other windows going. You see there's like a big curl of smoke near one of the windows. Bottles of many shapes, colors, and contents have kind of been rolled across the floor. You can see that like probably what you're like looking through, one of the reasons you're hiding so well is that there's a bunch of like different kinds of magical ingredients that are dangling off of hooks on the ceiling. So like dried plants and weird glowing fungus and a couple of like preserved organs that look really weird are all hanging from hooks on the ceiling. So like the shot is definitely like your eyes like in between these things as you're looking down. And as you peer into the chamber, however, you do notice that a bottle from there's like one of the shelves up on like the far wall. Bottles like one by one are just going off the wall, and sometimes they're empty and sometimes they seem to have contents. It's pretty clear that when that explosion went off, there was some kind of chemical reaction of these bottles just one by one being knocked off the wall. But there's no sign of anyone. You don't see anything in there. It's just like bottle by bottle, they're just falling off the side as though someone is pushing them.
Huh.
What do you want to do?
I'll jump back to Jrmi Moss.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
So there's nothing down there, but something weird's definitely going on.
Something's up.
Thumbs up.
Something's a little going on down there.
What do you want to do?
That's a good question.
There's like exploding bottles and stuff. I don't really see anything. There's just a lot of broken glass down there.
Can I do some sort of check to see if I would know what creature would appear in a bunch of fire and, you know, what I need to know about it?
You can do an Arcana check to put together the handful of clues that you have so far about this particular creature. Yeah, go for it.
12.
Don't forget, you also have the monster manual, which you could definitely consult and get an advantage on that roll if you'd like.
Oh,
Cred.
yeah.
Cred. Okay, cool.
Cred.
Well, so you've heard, like, we have the, like, Sherlock-style moment where we, like, see a bunch of, like, clips of, like, things people have said throughout the episode, like, fill me out! And you hear, like, these claws were made by a cat. Guys, this was made by an imp. Like, a bunch of things like that. Like, you put it all together. And then you, like, at that exact moment, you open up to the right page in the monster manual. So an imp is a devil, so it's similar to a demon. And they have like the claw pattern that would make sense for those markings. You know they're typically used by wizards as familiars now and again, or they can be summoned like as an advisor, that kind of a thing. If you're going to like summon a demon to get information or a devil to get information, it tends to be like a lower level, less powerful devil. In this case, an imp. They're not particularly powerful, but they're kind of known to be tricksy and deceitful. And they also have basically invisibility as a natural feature. So they can go invisible whenever they want.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Invisible fiends. So much fun.
Great.
But they're small, they're not very powerful, they're just kind of clever and tricksy, right? It's sort of a trickster.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you share this information?
The picture is
Yes.
also really cool. That's the reason you like think about it. Like, oh, that imp picture, right? Like it's a sweet picture of the monster manual.
Those were awesome looking.
It's definitely what I remember. I'll probably tell you guys. And I'm going to go jump in the light beam
Cool.
and like float down to the second floor, but not get on it.
Okay.
I'm
So
gonna
this is
follow.
the alchemy lab, right?
Yeah, where you said you saw bottles just like flying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you want to try to be stealthy about it, or just want to be visible?
gonna
Okay.
jump
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello!
Same thing. You see bottles kind of being knocked off. Do you shout hello?
Yeah.
The bottles stop. You see that like one bottle is like in midair and just kind of hovers there.
Who's doing it?
Give me a perception check.
I'm definitely right behind you.
11.
The room is pretty quiet when you do that. You can kind of hear like a what sound like wing beats.
Oh, shit.
You see that the bottle that this thing is holding basically drops. It shatters. And there's kind of a long moment of silence. Your 11 can tell it's like flapping across the room over to something on the opposite shelf, like very quickly. What do you want to do?
Can I try an intimidate? I want to shout something.
Yeah, sure, please.
There's an 11.
What do you say?
Stop it!
Well, it sort of
Stop it!
there's kind of a pause, and then you hear this response, but it doesn't sound like it sounds really terrifying to you because it's this sort of like, 1970s like play Queen backwards demonic like
yeah.
like horrible thing, but it doesn't. You don't know what it said. And then this big jar, this massive like 1.5 foot tall jar that's sitting on the one shelf that's all filled with this like yellow liquid that's kind of like swirling around, gets pushed off the shelf. It falls and shatters, and this like awful yellow amorphous ooze creature like slowly kind of goes sliding across the floor over towards you. Initiative, please, Jrmi.
Okay.
The other two guys can roll in as well.
17.
8.
17, 8.
18.
You guys figure out who's going to go in what order there. I'll be right back. I need a piece of scratch paper. 1 sec.
I mean, I got 20. No, just kidding.
Us, me, Val.
Yeah. Depending on the amorphous
Us,
creature.
me, Val.
Mostly bad.
Okay.
That's not the name of one of your spells.
All right. What did we get for initiative?
I got an 8.
18.
18. Looks like it's going to be Moss first, and then Jrmi. Well, I guess, hold on. Let me roll for somebody else. Okay, Moss, Jrmi, question mark,
There's always goddamn question mark.
question mark. Okay, so Moss, you were still up a floor, but you definitely heard, hello!
There
Stop
she
it!
goes again.
And a horrible smash, and this like...
Like at each
slurping
roll,
noise.
we're just like, wait, what?
What do you want to do, Moss?
I think Mach is gonna get a little like pretentious with like his availability to fly between the floors. So
Got
he'll
it.
be like, he'll David Bowie, where you just like walk and then you just walk down.
Oh, yeah.
But as soon as he gets to the second floor out of the light, he's just gonna smash into the floor, just like boom.
That's great. Give me an acrobatics.
Yeah. 7.
Okay, you're going to take a little bit of damage just because.
That's okay. I feel okay.
Only 2 points. That's not too bad. When you bonk, land on your
So
ass.
he
Like
bonks the his head, gets up, looks around, and then just like, form of a wolf.
there's like a 3-minute sequence of you like spinning in a circle, right? And all these lights coming in as you're transforming
No,
like
but
Sailor Moon style.
he'll assume his favorite form of the giant badger.
Yeah. So yeah, you can see this horrible ooze like rippling across the floor, like swallowing up broken bottles and stuff. It's not coming towards you, but you can see on your turn, you can move up to it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's Moss. Jrmi, your turn. You're still floating, right?
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and intimidate the
Blob.
the demon thing again.
Sure, go for it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Crit.
What'd you get? A crit?
Yeah.
All right. What do you say?
I'm gonna say like, if you don't stop right now, you're gonna be in so much trouble. Because to me, that's really scary.
Totally. There's kind of like a moment, a little shriek, and then you hear in a totally different voice, like not the horrible, scary demon voice, speaking in common. Listen, it's not my fault, okay? It's horrible. You tried living as a slave for 15 years. This awful, horrible, breathy. Yeah. I assume you heard that or didn't hear that?
Yeah, we got it.
We got
Okay,
it.
cool.
Oh, we got it.
Something about being a slave, I don't know.
Yeah.
For 15 years.
15 years. But it looks like the figure stopped moving. They're not throwing anything. They're not smashing, whatever. They're kind of talking to you now. You don't think you've gotten it to give up, but you think that you're like on the way towards getting it to give up.
I love that to be the Quincy. You're in so much trouble.
Oh, you're right. But that seems to have no effect on this awful blob creature that is still wriggling across the floor towards you.
Yeah.
If Theodore were here, he would spend his entire turn looking it up. But he's not.
Oh, yeah.
So we don't know what it is.
We'll never know what it
I
is.
can't see back to him again. Just
He
like
would
standing
he
in
would
front,
just
he's
spin
like,
a
I'm
turn.
just looking at my monster manual.
He'd spend
Yeah.
the turn like getting down the ground, you know.
And flipping through it, like licking his fingers as he
Tying up
turns
the
each
phone
page.
line, talking to his friends.
So this creature will come right to the edge of the well, basically the well of flight, and it kind of like wraps partially over and extends like a horrible pseudopod out towards you. This like awful stinking yellow limb. I think so. A 17 that hits you, right? Yep. Oh, Jrmi. You take 6 bludgeoning damage and 5 acid damage.
Oh,
So it slaps you with one of these pseudopods.
damn.
All right, that is its turn, and then it is Val's turn. What do you want to do, Val?
Get it away from me.
Yeah, I mean, after... I think at the whole time I'm standing there, I hear Moscow just like thunk on the ground. I just shake my head.
God damn.
And then I hear the 15 years thing. I'm like...
He probably did give you a look back before he went. It's
Alright.
like, what's this?
Alright, I'm gonna do another run and jump into the light.
Cool.
And then a land real cool on the second level.
Hero pose.
Yeah. Right next to the blob. And be like, the fuck?
You tap it on the shoulder.
Mm-mm. Alright, ooh,
What are you
10
attacking it
to
with?
hit?
What
Will
weapon
10
are you
hit
using?
it?
What weapon are you using?
Oh, it's my battle axe.
Okay, awesome. 10 will hit.
Oh, yeah. Okay. For 6 damage.
Okay, so you bring your battle axe down and you slice into it. What happens, though, is that it just goes completely through the creature, and there's a moment, and then you see, now there are 2 of them. You just cut it into 2 separate monsters.
Ew.
It looks like they're each about half as strong as the big one.
Okay.
They're each like now about medium size, but you're not sure whether that like damaged it or if it just split it. You know what I mean? Like you don't really know.
Just like,
All right.
sorry, guys.
Yikes. Okay. So Jrmi, you're floating there, and you've intimidated this creature, and you hear, "If I come quietly, then you gotta promise that I'm done with my servitude. I know I made a pact, but that was a long time ago. I was a much younger fiend." Do you say anything? You can't make any checks, but how do you reply to that?
Well, I'm willing to hear you out, but I gotta hear more about your situation before I can decide something like that. It's not just my decision. But I'm willing to listen. We gotta just be calm about it.
You're a very diplomatic 8-year-old.
Super diplomatic.
I got a lot
Okay,
of
cool.
siblings.
Moss, it is your turn.
I think Moss will fly into his badger rage and just take out one of these like tiny little creatures.
Go for it.
I do believe I get 2 attacks.
Yes, you do.
I get the bite and then the claws.
Okay. All right. Start with that bite.
I love a cut.
Ah.
For Jrmi. She's like a senator. She's just like,
Well,
what do you do?
the bite was a 9.
That'll do it.
Oh, cool. Well, then that means the claws hit too. But
Cool.
so the bite was 1d. This is piercing damage. Ooh, for a whopping 2.
2. Okay.
And then the claws is slashing damage for 2d4.
Okay. Roll that.
For a much better hit of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage.
Okay. So let me quick give you a description. You come scrambling over towards it, like clawing your way across the ground like a badger, right?
Yeah.
Dive, do the bite, ripping into the horrible, like acidic nature of it, and that seems to work. You rip a couple pieces off. When you go in with the claws, though, once again, you see like it just splits, and now there are 2 even smaller ones. There's currently 3 of these blobs, 2 little tiny small-sized ones and 1 medium-sized one. Yeah, you're just kind of like, the badgers are confused, like, wait, this isn't what happens when I hit things with my claws? Okay, cool. Unless you have another action, Jrmi, it is your turn.
Okay, so I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
For healing word, it says 1 bonus creature in sight. Does that include me? I see my hand?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
I'm gonna do that second. I'd like to try a persuasion on the imp.
Go for it.
17.
Okay.
I want to say, if you can help us get rid of this thing that you caused, then we can all sit down and talk about it and maybe figure out a solution that works for everybody. Is that fair?
She's so diplomatic.
I have a lot of siblings.
I love it.
I'm a middle child.
Let me think about it for a minute.
Okay, we just might not have that time. And then I'm going to do healing word on myself.
Okay, go for it. You do sense that like you basically convinced it, but it's as though it doesn't want to like admit that it did something wrong, right? Like.
I get it.
Okay, cool. And you're healing yourself. Awesome.
Yeah, can I move too at all, or?
Yes. I assume you're still floating, right, in the middle of the the well. Where do you want to go?
I want to just like try and like in the light go back a little bit if I can without provoking, or however I can move without provoking if possible.
You can't move without provoking because you have used your action to talk to the imp and you've used a bonus action to heal yourself. So you could move. It would probably provoke. The other thing to remember is that this chamber is basically circular and the well is in the middle of it. So if you're on this floor, the thing could get to you in some way, right?
Yeah.
But so it's up to you. Do you want to move and provoke, or do you want to stay where you are? It's got a couple more bigger targets than you right now.
I'll stay where I am right now.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, and then it is this wiggly creature's turn. So one of the small sized blobs is going to go towards the badger. Ooh, that's a crit.
Oh no!
Badger, you're going to take. Let's see this. Oh, come on. You only take 9 damage, about 3 of which is acid. So it like kind of semi-engulfs like the front of the badger, right, and is like burning away your fur. One of the small ones will like basically lunge off the side of the tower and kind of go for Jrmi. I think so, Jrmi. Man, my dice are on fire. You guys are rolling really poorly, but I'm rolling incredibly.
That's Seattle air, I guess.
Super good. That's 4. Oh, that's 10 acid damage, Jrmi.
Okay, well I'm unconscious.
Okay, so you get hit with this thing, and you are basically like floating there unconscious as it's eating your clothes away. All right, and then the bigger one is going to go for Valqwyn. Oh, I think that's a miss though. Only a 12.
Yeah, no.
As it like splashes one of its pseudopods up against your shield. Okay, cool. That is the question mark. Val, it is your turn.
I want to try and kick the other little one off of this floor.
Kick it off?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you could make a bull rush effectively, which would be like a strength check to try to push it off, if that makes sense. Cool. You guys will make opposed strength.
Oh, yeah. No!
What'd you get?
I got a nat 1!
Oh, no! So, yeah, you go to kick it.
Bonus, so.
That's a nat 1. It's a failure. You go to kick it, and you basically get your foot like lodged in it, right? Like it's so goopy, and it, like you feel like crawling up your leg.
I'm so mad at Theodore.
I'll say as a bonus action, you can pull your leg out, but yeah, it does not go very well. So that's your action. If you want to move, you can move, but you would probably provoke an opportunity attack in so doing. So that's up to you.
I'm good. I'll just kind of shake it.
Get off of me. Yeah, totally.
That did not go as planned.
So both Val and the badger would notice that one of the bottles that's on the shelf kind of picks itself off. You see it's like a kind of glowing purple bottle, and it goes flying across the room towards this slime. Ooh, there we go. I'm rolling well, so that should help you guys.
Well, it hasn't so far.
Yeah, you see it splashes onto the bigger of the 3 blobs and seems to like this big like wisp of like horrible necrotic energy that eats away some of the creature.
Cool.
Nice. I hope you're happy.
I'm conscious, so I'm not happy.
I am
very
that was
displeased.
Cool, wherever that came from. Can you get this?
Okay,
little
cool.
one? It's coming here.
Moss, it is your turn. You are face deep in this slime. What do you want to do? Just chew on it.
Let me chew on it for a minute. Well, I mean, I think Moss is smart enough to realize that, you know, the claws aren't working, but I can't do 2 bite attacks, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
I suppose I'll just try to bite it once.
Yeah, go for it.
I hit it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I rolled a 7 or a 20, mod 20.
Okay, yeah, totally.
And that max damage, 7 damage.
Ooh, nice. Would you like to describe
Ooh, yeah.
how you destroy this one?
So this thing is just like, it like latches onto his face, and I think he'll like, you know, do the badger like pull out, and as soon as it pulls out, he'll just do like, you know, the death shake, like, and it's just like acid and slime and everything, just like it shakes it into nothing. Just,
Yeah, little droplets go spraying everywhere, and
Yeah.
like where they hit, they sizzle. Yeah, totally.
and then like in badger form, he's like,
yeah, who's next? Who's next? Yeah.
maybe takes a couple swipes at the furniture that already took it anyways.
Like, yeah.
Screw some shit up in here. This already got hit. Yeah.
I'm so hyped up.
Absolutely. Do you want to move, or you good where you are? Right now, there are no more of them adjacent to you, so you could move without provoking.
Yeah,
if you
I
want.
think he'd move towards like the nearest slime.
Okay, yeah, you just 5-foot adjustment, scuttle over there.
Yeah,
Sounds
so he's
good.
like runs over there on the way by a furniture. He'll like, you know,
Yeah.
swipe it.
You like trip a chair or something.
Yeah.
Totally. All right, Jrmi, it is your turn. Give me a death saving throw, please.
Okay.
Oh.
That's 1 failure for Jrmi. If you get 2 more of those, that is the end of everyone's favorite 8-year-old diplomat. All right. So it is this horrible creature's turn. The one of the 2 little small ones is going to basically like merge into the big one and then pop out the other side to try to get at Moss. Ooh, I think so, Mr. Moss. I haven't rolled anything below like a 15 right now. I'm killing it.
As Moss,
that's-
I have a 12. As a badger, I have a 10. So
A 10, yeah. You know, I don't gotta do too well. You got about 7 damage coming your way, only one of which is acid.
that's okay.
Take that. And then the big one will try to basically engulf Val. Oh, okay, but I can't hit Val. Val's the one I can't hit. That's a 7, Val. It just can't get near you, yeah. Okay. That is that creature. Val, it is your turn.
Quick question. Did one of the smaller ones jump off the ledge towards Jrmi and that's how
Oh,
she
yes,
fell?
you're right.
Okay.
I imagine that one probably got back, because if it was just staying on top of Jrmi, it would just be like eating poor dead Jrmi away, which I'm not going to do. So we'll say that the one that attacked Moss leapt off off of Jrmi and went to
Like
go fight
merged.
Moss. That
Okay,
makes sense
cool.
to me. Thank you for reminding me.
So I have 1 on my leg still, right?
Yeah, that's the big one that tried to engulf you. Yep.
All right. I can't really slash it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Yeah. You mean you could always try to knock it off again, or you could look around the room for other things you could use, like a bludgeoning weapon or something like that.
Will that use my action to try and find one?
I would say we'll probably use your bonus action to look for it, and it might be your move to go get it. Which you could go get it, but then the problem would be that you would probably provoke an opportunity attack. So you could, if you spent your whole round just going and getting it, then you wouldn't provoke. If you go get it and try to attack, you basically provoke an opportunity attack.
I'm gonna try to push it off again with my shield.
Yeah,
Just gonna kinda...
please. That's a great idea.
Oh my god! It was a 6. What the hell?
The total is a 6?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's really close, actually. Like, it rolled pretty badly, but it didn't roll that
Oh
badly.
my God.
So you have this, like, contest where you, like, have the shield down, like, trying to shove it, and it's pushing you back. Yeah. Going back and forth. Okay,
Fighting
cool.
with
I like your
basketball.
problem solving, though. That's cool. Okay. Let's jump on to the imp. Let's see what kind of potion he's going to get this time.
Hey, disembodied boys, help me here.
So you see a potion goes whizzing over your head and crashes onto the opposite side, and like a bunch of lightning shoots out of it. Sorry. But it does not manage to hit anyone. All right, Moss, it is your turn. I don't know why, like, some of these voices I don't do beforehand, so, like, I don't know why this is the gesture for the imp. Like, okay, listen, it's not my fault. Like, these tiny little hands.
The shield.
Okay.
Moss, I think after, like, Moss is all, like, roid raged out as Badger form. He turns around after killing the one thing, runs up to it, and then all of a sudden it just goes, psh, and just like, just like the ochre jelly or whatever the hell it is, punches him in the face. And Moss is he's significantly less excited about getting near this thing now. And by that,
I mean, you're not a badger anymore.
Yeah, I think he's going to ditch the badgering.
Okay, cool. You're gonna make an unarmed attack.
He's gonna make a unarmed heal. He's down to 2. Yeah, I can't cast spells in that form, and he's like, he comes back 2, and he's just got like these burns, on his face.
Yeah, you're all sizzled.
Yeah, so I think he's going to like as you see, it's a beautiful transformation. And as he comes to, you just hear, mother. Just these awful slew of dwarven cuss words.
Dwarven cuss words, yeah.
I love that that's the way to heal.
And he'll heal for 7, which is nice for him.
Nice.
And that uses up one of his spell slots, which he has 3 left.
Good point, Shadowrunner.
What?
The wild shape has its own HP.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
You guys, I read about this and I
point.
still can't remember. Every time I come here, I forget.
It's totally complicated, man.
Golly. Well,
So yeah, how do we want to retcon this?
Because I took damage. Give me just a second. If it's got its own HP.
It's okay.
Sorry, chat. One of these days, I'll be a good druid.
Someday he'll know. Someday we'll all know how wild shape works.
Plus, is a great druid.
All because of your edification.
All
chat.
because you guys are teaching me.
He's truly learning how to be an adventurer.
Yes,
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It doesn't say. Oh, HP 13. There it is.
Yeah. So you would go through that 13, and then you would go back to whatever you had before you wild shape.
Okay. So I'm at 13. I took 9 initially, but if I die in wild shape, I just transform back into me.
Yeah.
Yep. And any extra damage that knocks you past 0 will go into Moss, right?
Oh,
so let's say you.
That's great.
Yeah. Look. That's the poops, as they say.
That's the poops.
Colloquially.
All right, so never mind. I think knowing that, which I knew the whole time.
The whole time you knew this.
The
Yeah,
whole
we're going to
time
rewind a little bit.
He's taken some hits, but Badger Moss isn't down for the count just yet.
Do it.
He
Get in
almost
there.
is, but
Badger
not quite.
Moss.
So Badger Moss is going to not slash, but just rage bite
rage.
these things.
Please.
17 again. That's 3 of them.
Nice. Yeah, get in there, man.
6 damage.
6. Okay. Not quite enough to destroy it, but it's pretty close. You're just ripping in there with your fangs.
Yeah, I think he probably took off a chunk of it and is like.
Totally. Yeah. And it kind of squirming around. Cool. If anyone has seen Cowboy Bebop, that episode with the horrible rock lobster thing, right? That's in the it's that one. Definitely, it's the weird spoiled food one. Okay, cool. Jrmi, give me that death save, baby.
Ah.
Got a 10.
Yeah.
A 10, cool. All right, that's 1. You need 2 more of those, and you'll stabilize and will not die. Okay, cool. All right, we are on to the horrible blob. The horrible blob.
This blob.
So it will attempt to attack the badger. The small one will. Man, killing it every day. That's 8 bludgeoning damage. 12 total damage, Moss. 4 of which is acid. So I think you're knocked back to dwarf form.
Yeah, for sure. So I took 9. He has 13, so that's 4. And I took 12.
Just took 12. Yeah.
So that's 8. So cool. I'm at half health.
Okay,
Personally,
cool.
but not
Good to
in
know.
badger form, which I totally
Right.
knew this whole time.
The whole time you knew. And then we'll make an attack. The big one will make an attack against Val. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. 21. Yes. The real hero of the campaign.
Finally gets past my shield.
So it's 8 damage, 5 of which is acidic. It's just burning away at your shield. Yeah, it's like you have your shield, you're trying to push it off the side, and it like just wraps around the shield to get at you, right? Oh god! Okay, Val, your turn.
It's me? Same one?
Yep, it's you.
Alright, so it just wrapped around my shield and attacked me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't beat this thing. I don't have any bludgeoning stuff.
I do.
You do, but you're not by me, are you?
Mm-hmm.
Are
I'm
you
fighting the
by
same
me?
one you're fighting.
Can I steal his weapon and make an action?
No,
If,
well, I think I'm still.
If Moss lets you take it, yeah, you can.
I think
grab
I'm
it.
still turning
back.
back into. I don't know how you want to rectify that, but I'm turning back into Moss.
I think when you drop below 0 as Badger, you instantly go back. So you like pop back, and you're just Moss now. Yeah. So.
Yeah, because Warhammers are bludgeoning, yeah.
Yeah. You.
If Moss will let you, you can do it without a contest. You could also just try to take it away and like overpower
I think
him if he
since
tries
he's
to hold on to it.
distracted, I'm just gonna grab it as he like.
I'm not letting go of my Warhammer.
All right, you guys
My
can
rock.
make a strength contest then.
All right.
Oh my God.
Just
The
let
tug
me
of
have
war
a quick
over it.
second. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, she just yanks it out of your hands,
Give it
man.
back, Moss. Hold on.
Cool. I'll say that's your bonus action, and then as your action, you can make an attack with it if you want.
18 to hit.
Totally. Yep.
You roll a D8 if it's one-handed, D10 if it's two.
Cool.
Probably one since you
Yeah,
have
it's
the
just
shield.
one.
You
Yeah.
got the shield, yeah.
For
No, it's just a D8 plus whatever your strength your strength is.
okay, cool. So
4.
it is 9 damage.
Oh, it's a savage hit. You splatter a bunch of it. Yeah, like a Jackson Pollock painting. It just goes everywhere. Cool. It's still alive. It's got a few hit points. It kind of like recoalesces, but it's very damaged. Nice.
I
Okay.
promise I'll give it back, Moss. Don't worry about it.
All right. The another bottle will come flying off of the shelf. Ooh, yes, sir. That's a crit. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, so just a huge blossom of fire licks around you guys. I need reflex saves from both Val and from Moss.
Reflex is what? Dexterity?
I'm sorry, dexterity. Yes. Boy, that
Ooh,
shows my age.
six.
That's an older edition.
17 is the number for me today.
How'd you do?
He did really well. I got 6.
6. All right.
He's like, oh, you're gonna die. Oh, shit.
You take 12 fire damage, Val, and you take 6 fire damage, Moss.
I wish I were a tiefling.
But you see that both of the two slimes are like incinerated. They're just gone when you kind of like you're all blackened like a cartoon character, right? And you look up, yeah, and they are both destroyed. Sorry to kill snipe you, but yeah, you rolled a crit.
Here,
All
Moss,
right,
steal your bag.
but we are still in initiative because Jrmi is still unconscious. So Moss, it is your turn. Both of them have been blasted. Everyone is blackened. What do you want to do?
Hey, Moss turns back into Moss.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately, Valqwyn just reaches over and snags his warhammer out of it, slaps
Slash
him with it.
something and I throw it back at you.
And then he bursts into flames, and you just now you hear this stream of dwarven curse words, and like somewhere in this stream, you just hear, "And this stupid idiot thing here, Jrmi!" And as he screams Jrmi's name, healing word.
There you go. I like you basically just like throw a tantrum every once in a while, right? Like, yeah.
He's very reserved and quiet, but once he gets mad, he's just like, ironically healing things around him.
Yeah, totally.
For 5.
All right, you have 5 hit points, Jrmi.
I have a question
Yes.
to like further damage myself, but since I was like hovering in the second floor and went unconscious, would I have stopped thinking about flying and
Just like falling to the floor.
No, I think you stay there. You basically continue to hover. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Basically, there's like a safety system, right, that he's put in there. They're like, if he stops thinking about flying for a second,
He's
right,
still
it's not
there.
like, oh shit, ah! Like, that's what happened before. Like,
Checking
he was
what-
like testing
Like,
it.
take these
Like,
notes. Oh no.
Broken.
yeah, he's like flying up, and he's like, oh, I got a text, and he looks at his text, and he stops thinking about flying, and he falls, right? Like, so yeah, he put in a bug specifically to catch you in that situation.
Okay.
Okay, cool. You are conscious, Jrmi. What do you guys want to do?
You're hovering.
I think you'll still
Completely
Moss is still just like muttering to himself and like wiping off his clothes and like stomping
right.
the sooty blackness that was the like jellies and
Totally.
stupid idiot.
Here's
I'm gonna
your Warhammer back.
say,
Hammer.
I'm gonna go hang out with George. Do you want to come down and talk to us?
Oh, to the you're saying this to the imp?
Yeah, to the room.
Give me another persuasion.
19.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'm gonna float down to George.
Cool. You can float down.
I'm gonna curl up in him.
George kind of like has his back to the window. Or when you go down there, you see George is like kind of craning out the window a little bit. like as though it's trying to look up and see what's going on. And, like, when it sees you, it like scuttles over.
I'm gonna like curl up into her.
Cute.
Adorable. What are the two of you guys gonna do?
I heard that happen, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
I'm gonna follow and see what the hell just set me on fire.
Okay, totally. What about you, Moss? You gonna go with?
I think Moss will continue uttering curse words as he follows as well.
Okay.
And during this curse stream, he'll heal himself as well. So I'll
Okay, cool.
use this will
Sounds
be
good.
my second of 3 spell slots. So
Got it.
max.
Oh yeah, can I heal myself
Cool.
too?
You can cast a spell on yourself. Yeah. If you guys want to take an hour rest, you could spend 1 or 2 of your hit dice to get some hit points back. But that's up to you as to whether or not you're gonna. Combat may happen anyway, right?
Yeah, I guess if possible, then I would like to do a cure wounds on myself.
Yeah, go ahead. If you have spells you want to cast those spells.
I can heal myself.
Yeah, you guys can go and reconvene in the floor below, which is the library, right?
gonna need to.
From the
I'm
alchemy
at
lab.
1.
How'd you take so much damage?
It was that fucking fire.
All right.
That's why I want to know who the hell
Yeah. Okay.
Right,
so
yeah.
get out of me.
I didn't
Chris.
realize she was that low. Probably Moss like looks over, stupid idiot thing hurt Valqwyn, just like he's just livid. So
Yeah, right.
I'll use all 3 of them max damage.
Awesome, thank
So
you.
7 back.
Woo.
Nice. Yeah, this is one thing we haven't done at all with the junior adventurers. So you guys can take a rest and get hit points back that way too. Like you don't have to necessarily burn all of your spell slots on healing, right?
Song of Rest.
Yeah, you have Song of Rest too. Like it just hasn't come up in context, but it is something that you guys have in your arsenal at some point. As if you would rather do that than use all your spell slots for healing. But that's cool. So you guys can reconvene in the library.
Yep. I think I land as he sets off his string of curse words. I'm just like, thank you, man. Who the hell did that?
I did. And you guys look over and you see that like kind of flapping in the like well of flying is this sort of red-skinned, like characteristically horned, like little flying devil. You see, it's got like a sort of a scorpion tail, and it's kind of like hanging its head, sort of sadly, flapping its wings. I'm Felmiel.
You're Thelmiel, huh?
Yes.
Why don't you flap on over here? We'll have a little chat.
He's just trying to help because I asked him to.
I think I'm gonna keep my distance if it's all the same to you. Listen, okay, so I helped you, yes, but that doesn't mean that I have to work together, okay? I'm sorry I knocked over the ochre jelly, but I thought you were gonna try to, banish me or whatever.
So, what exactly is your deal? What's your deal?
The murder bird tells me that you murdered.
Murder! Murder! Says the bird, right, like angrily. I'll curse you! Okay, so I may or may not have worked for Professor Tandivar for 15 years as his, unpaid servant, if you understand me. And, I got tired of it, man. I got tired of it. So, I took action in my own claws, and I did it. And now it's my tower. And you can go out of here. He, like, curses in infernal at you. Well, you don't speak infernal.
Yeah.
But I
I
said
speak
it from
undercommon.
context clues.
Yeah, I think
And it's
Moss is
infernal,
also
yeah.
like, he's like, oh, I'm adding that one to the list.
Yeah, right.
He's just like, yeah.
So what do you guys do?
What were we here to do?
to learn stuff from the professor who's now
Yeah, he
dead.
was like your next chaperone. You're just here to meet him, and he's
Oh.
been murdered. Yeah.
Yes, Moss ate Theodore. It was about time.
He ate him up.
Um,
What do you want to do?
I want to try persuasion
Sure.
on this guy.
Felmiel.
Only an
Felmiel.
11.
Okay.
So I guess I'll say, like, I understand that you didn't like working for this guy, and that was probably rude of him to do. But can you see how murder is worser?
Murder!
Murder bird.
Murder
Listen, don't try to culturally oppress me where I come from. Murder is not worser. Not than slavery for 15 years. I'm a devil, okay?
But
From
you're
the
on
night
this plane.
hells.
You're living here. So we
Right,
got
because
other
he
rules.
came to where I live and he took me away.
Well, that was pretty rude of him.
That was rude.
Mm.
Yeah,
I
get it.
agree, right? We're all on the same side.
Yeah, you know what else is rude? Burning me.
Okay, that was legitimately an accident. I can't help it. I have incredible aim.
So, what did you... Do you just poison him? What did you do? Like, how...
Poisoned him. Liberated him from his earthly body. You know.
I don't know.
Kill is such a strong word.
Technically, if you look at like the contract that he signed, that I signed with him, he didn't say. He said that I couldn't attack or harm him, but I didn't say anything about his porridge. He chose to eat the porridge.
But
I'm a
signed-
devil. We care about these things.
But you signed a contract with him, though?
Well, not a contract in writing, but I summoned. I'm a demon. I'm a devil. This is what happens. You summon, you make a contract, you make a pact. But he tricked me. He said if I didn't make the pact, he would constantly be resummoning me over and over again. He offered me knowledge and immortality, and I'm sitting here sweeping up his raven's shit. He like makes a gesture towards the bird. But he doesn't say shit. He says like, right, like some horrible.
And the bird's just like, man.
Yeah. Murder. So what do you guys want to do? Moral conundrum,
Yeah.
apparently.
Well, I just don't know what the hell we were supposed to do in the first place.
I honestly, Val's kind of taking to him. She thinks he's kind of cool at this point. It's like, I'm mad that you burned me, but where are you coming from, man? That's like
Pretty rad, man.
pretty cool.
The bird will go, whelm.
Well, oh yeah, I still got that book. Here, I'll just take it out. Anybody-
Hey, Mr. Ice, or dude.
There you go.
Hey, guy. You want to go
What?
home?
Home?
Do you want to go back to the infernal plane?
Oh.
Technically.
Yes and no.
It's like an
I've
old
been
Scottish
gone a
song.
really long time, you understand? But I can't leave the town, so if I go home, like, do you guys know what rent is? Do you understand the concept of rent?
Not really.
The
Were you like-
musical?
I've been away for a long time, and I owe some people. I serve some higher devil lords, and if I go back, they're gonna be like, "Where are you?" And I was like, "I got captured." And
Why don't you
They're just
Why don't you just poison their porridge?
Yeah, you're
I like
okay
it.
with that, apparently.
it doesn't really work with. That doesn't really work with pit fiends. They don't take poison damage.
Yeah.
So you could. I mean, I'm not trying to suggest anything here, but you could release me from my pacts and let me go free.
I'm gonna try and intimidate
Like-
again.
Sure, go for it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Mm-mm. She does nothing.
Ah, boy, it's only an 8.
Yeah, well.
Okay.
mm.
Well, I don't think it's fair, is all she'll say, since I don't think she succeeds anyway.
It may not be fair, but it is legally binding, unfortunately.
Fair enough.
I'll look
It's up to
through
you guys.
The book that you gave me
There you go.
about what is demon and imps.
Yeah.
A knave's guide to summoning. So it's about how you summon and banish.
Can I roll
Extra
something to
player
see if I remember why we were even what the professor was supposed to teach us?
Sure. I mean, you don't know. You were waiting to meet him, and he was going to say we're going to go do this quest. Or whatever.
so
You literally
yeah,
are just
we
here to run.
We were literally coming here to meet him to figure out what we were doing. So Moss is just
You just sit on the floor and you're just like, ow.
Right. You don't have an assignment. You're in between missions right
I
now.
Yeah.
want to ask, is it Talquill? Is that
Thelmiel.
Thelmiel. I'm horrible with names. I'm just going to butcher everything.
That's okay. You can call him the imp. That's fine.
So I'm going to ask him, so Thelmiel, what
Yes.
would you do if you were possibly released from this pact? What would be your ambitions?
Charity, probably. I'd give to the needy. I'd
Is this charity or charity?
clothe the naked.
Inside. Inside.
Yeah, please insight.
17.
you know he's lying because like he's not really trying to lie in a convincing way, but like you kind of believe him. Like it's almost like an ensorcelment thing. Like he's such a good liar that like even though he's saying things that are patently untrue, and like the larger part of your brain knows that, some small part of you is like, I mean, maybe he would help the homeless, right? Like you know he's lying, but I'm saying like that speaks to how convincing he is. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I've been a prisoner forever. So for 15 whole years.
Is 15 years a long time? Thought you guys were kind of long lived.
It is a long time because that's like
your age, right?
Yeah, it's up there.
Yes and no. With the older demons and devils, it's not very long, but we kind of get like made and destroyed and made, kind of like mayflies. So I've actually lived quite a bit longer than most of my kind because we tend to get smushed or eaten or minced. You know how it is.
That's good to know.
I think Moss is now like just sitting on the ground, just like rolling his warhammer, just like bored. And he's like, "Well, it sounds like you had a pretty good deal with the professor."
Well, I could never leave the tower.
But you're alive. You've lived longer than any of your buddies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't get to cause any mischief or mayhem.
Can I look up?
I mean, homelessness charity, you know, clothe the naked.
I don't know. You kind of caused a lot of mischief and mayhem just within the past, 10 minutes. So I think you're living up to your nature pretty well. I mean, I'm still singed. Just throwing that out there.
Can I look up banishing in this book
Yeah,
without it?
You do an intelligence check.
Maybe you're, hiding behind me and looking
Oh.
17.
17. So you need a handful of things to send him back. You need, let me pull it up here. You want to banish this MFer. You need, he must be inside the appropriate summoning circle, which you're pretty sure the Raven pointed out to you which one. Mm-hmm. You need the correct verbal components, which are listed here in this book. You need the correct material components, which they make a short list of different ones. And you need to know the imp's name, or the demon's name that you're going to send back, which you do have, yeah. So the only thing that you don't have that you need are the material components. You also need the being you're trying to summon or banish to be on the circle when you're doing it.
Okay.
Well, I know how we can get into the circle, but
Try a deception check.
Sure, yeah, go for it. What do you say?
I got an 11.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, well, I can try, but I'm gonna need to get some things. I'm gonna need a minute.
Try to do what?
Try to make this thing so you go free.
You got perks up. Really?
I need a couple things.
Okay, no, I understand. I don't know how you guys do that stuff. He seems to buy it.
Oh, okay.
you do your job.
Yeah, he did not roll well on his insight.
Does Moss want to help?
Lawful good.
Moss is just rolling his hammer on the ground, so he doesn't know what you're planning. So he's just.
I'm just gonna
Because I'm
point out
keeping
like the
engaged in
things.
conversation.
I just need help gathering the materials.
Yeah.
If someone wants to help.
Moss probably knows. He's got a
probably
decent
know.
medicine in nature. He can find whatever components if he knows.
Okay. Yeah, you recognize a bunch of them. There's a list of components.
Okay, cool. So it's just like looking around the place and finding them
Yeah,
eventually.
you're actually on the right floor to do that as well. You're on the
cool.
alchemical lab, so go ahead and you can make an investigation or a perception check to find it.
I was going to keep talking with Bilmiel.
I'll do perception. I did well. 21 mod.
So you don't actually find any of these components anywhere, but you do notice that there is you probably find one or two of them. So there's a big locked cabinet in one corner of the room that you can look through the glass and see oh, I need that, and I need that, and I need that, but it has a big padlock on it.
Moss will look, especially you said glass, right? Moss will look and he'll be like, oh, these are the things we. Look to the right and left and notice everything else is smashed up. And he's just like.
So you take your hammer and it right off of it.
Oh.
Can I try a sleight of hand on it?
Yeah, you could try to do dexterity. Sleight of hand is kind of like picking a pocket. If you have thieves' tools, you could use those. Otherwise, it would just be a straight dexterity check.
Oh, okay.
Moss, you do think you could bust it if you like really put your back into it, but you just like tapped it, right? So if you want to like try to make an attack and try to smash it, you can. But you don't think like everything else in the storm has been shattered, but this thing is kind of pristine. It looks like it has resisted the attempts to break into it.
I think Moss will hit and he'll rear back and then he'll like look and like he'll look at Valqwyn and be like, "You want to smash the glass?"
Yeah, I do.
Awesome, cool. Yeah, you can give me an attack roll basically with that weapon.
So it's 8.
Well, if you're using both
that
hands
one.
right now.
Oh, that's
no. You would be proficient with it, so it's your strength
you are proficient,
plus your proficiency, so it's
okay.
plus
so
6.
It's 9.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to hit.
Yeah.
Give me some damage. Basically, I'm more concerned with the damage than
1d10
with
plus
the hit.
So 6.
Cool. So it probably takes about 2 or 3 hits then, if 6 is about the average damage you're doing. So you swing, crack it, you swing, you just smash it open. So the problem is that when you do that, then all of the like components kind of like crash and fall to the ground and spill everywhere, right? Because you like rattled the whole cabinet. So if someone wants to go and like hunt through them, they can with an investigation or whatever. But there's just like a big like avalanche of all these components and things that go rolling down.
Moss will be like, "Oh shit!" He'll go running after it. I think in the confusion, he fails.
Oh no.
Oh no. Well, if you spend
mean,
time, you can probably find it out. What do you get as your total?
he rolled a 7.
Okay, yeah. It just takes you a while. It's just a matter of time. So what is Jrmi, what are you doing during this period?
Oh, I assumed I was over there. I was gonna like pick the lock and then they smashed it.
So yeah,
I can help them look too, but I'm
just gonna be like
anyone else can make perception, investigation, or medicine checks if they want.
I got a 12 perception.
Cool. Yep. You can collect the things on the list. You also notice that there's like a bunch of other just like little roots and chives and things like that. But there's also a number of what look like magic potions that have been kind of. Some of them have been smashed. There was like a larger amount of them, but a lot of them got destroyed. So there's a few. Let me see what you guys got. There's one that is like a kind of a greenish gray liquid. And it's like in a sort of glass bottle that's all carved with like different animals. You see like a squirrel and a badger and a deer and things like that on it. There is one that's basically like a tall vial like this, and it's all red, and it appears like the stopper appears to be like a dragon snarling. And there is one more, and that is basically like a little bag of dust. And it's the clasp on it appears to be like a nose, like someone's nose. Yeah, a bag of dust, a red potion with a dragon stopper. You want the dragon one? Yeah. And then the one with the animal bottle.
Yeah, anything with the badger on it, Moss is about.
Cool.
I'll take
you
the
got
sneezing powder.
Snarling dragon.
You could do an Arcana check if you want, or anyone has the identify spell. You can use that to identify them.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I assume that the fighter does not have identify.
Mod 20 Arcana.
Okay. Yeah, you feel pretty confident this is basically magical sneezing powder called the dust of sneezing.
Moss is pretty confident. He likes the pictures.
Yeah, they're sweet pictures, man. Yeah.
Ooh, no, I don't know. I'm just like, ooh, a dragon.
A dragon, man.
Both you're like, ooh, dragon's like, ooh, check out the badger.
Oh my god, I know. Yeah.
But yes, Jrmi, you can collect all the various different ingredients.
As we're just geeking out to our model.
Felmiel's kind of like flapping over your shoulder, like, "Did you get everything you need?"
Yeah, I think it's all here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna like turn the book around and be like, okay, so I think you gotta stand on this one. I'll point towards.
Sure. So you guys are on the wrong floor.
Yeah, it's the floor
up to the summoning.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah, cool. We can cut there. You cut immediately to them in the summoning chamber.
Yep, here we are.
Oh,
whoa! What do you know? Cool.
Oh, weird. How did we all teleport here?
I wonder what Theodore is doing right now. Okay, so I'll do my whole spiel about like,
he's like crying in his room, just like that. Nobody liked me.
He's probably been relegated. By this point, he's relegated to the kids' table, and he's very sour about it.
He's very upset about it. Yeah.
All the other kids are like pushed away from him, and just like.
One of the kids at the table is crying inexplicably because Theodore sweat. We cut in right after Theodore said something very like horrible to her, and he's like, "I'm just being honest," right? Like that's where we come in. Yeah, and she's just crying.
And it zooms out, and they're like baby children. They're like
they're all babies. They're all like 4 years old. He's like, "It's not my fault your father's so poor." Or whatever.
Theodore is gonna get the damn patch this week, and he's not even here.
Right. Ridiculous. Okay. So we're in the summoning chamber. You can find the summoning circle. What do you want to do next?
Does the book say like what order things need to happen in?
Basically, the book will give you the verbal components and all the various different things you have to do. Basically, mechanically, the way this works is that there's basically a primary person who casts this ritual, and they have to succeed on a relatively high DC spellcasting check. But they can be assisted by other people even if they aren't spellcasters. So if they can like say the words or like spread the components or do the chanting or whatever, they can help. Basically, like, and then the DC for that is a little bit lower. So basically, you guys need to pick your primary spellcaster, and you can use any of the 3 mental ability scores to do that. It's preferable that the person being the primary caster is actually a caster, though.
I can help.
I have my spellcasting is 5, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be you then.
Yeah.
So it'll be your whatever your ability score. I think in your case, Jrmi, it'd be your charisma plus your proficiency modifier would be your bonus.
Don't you mean? Isn't yours?
No.
higher
Well,
for
what's
casting?
your charisma?
Oh,
I got +3 +2.
charisma's +3.
So we've
So
had
I think you guys are equally good.
Yeah,
at
we're
it.
equally good at spellcasting.
I
And Moss
do-
isn't into books, so
Okay.
this is you.
And I have.
And you have kind of taken the lead on this anyway. It kind of makes sense that Jrmi does
I
it.
also have the inspiration thingy this week too.
Oh yeah, so we didn't make a point of this at the beginning of the session, but because Theodore isn't here, it's funny you mentioned this earlier, Kevin, that we are going to move the inspiration to Jrmi because Jrmi was the second closest to last week, and we're actually just going to give Theodore inspiration the next week. So he'll get it. He will actually get it next week, but not because people voted for it this week, right? Just because he's not here to use it. We
Wait,
don't
but if
wanna,
one of us gets it this week, are we going to push that? Do they also get
we're actually not going to do a
We're
poll
not
this
gonna do
week.
a
We're just
poll.
going to, yeah. So don't worry.
I'll just
Someday,
try.
Moss.
It's okay.
It'll be Moss Day, and you'll get it. It'll be awesome.
Just like
So yes, you do have your inspiration if you want to use that for this, Jrmi. That seems like a great use of it. So what do you guys want to do?
Sure, let's do that.
I'll say that Val is just completely convinced that we are going to break the contract. So whatever help she gives, she's going to be like, yes, it's the greatest idea ever.
Yeah, totally.
And Moss is going along. He's just like, whatever the book says, he's like, okay, whatever.
So yeah,
Just mime one.
let's see. If there's 3 of you, it seems like one person could read the words out of the book, and then the other 2 people could either be like chanting along. One person could chant along with Jrmi. One person could like use the material components and spread them out in the right pattern. Like, what are the 2 you guys want to do?
I'll chant
Flavor-wise.
because I think you're more comfortable with the material.
Yeah, I think Moss will
Okay.
grasp the material components. If not properly, then he's seen it done. Like probably he'll just emulate Barkwood at this point. He'll just do like he's like, oh,
Okay.
Barkwood did this.
I like
Cool.
that.
This is
So
you
let's
should
do the
become
2
a
assisting checks first. Go for it, Moss. We'll see your spellcasting check. This is at a +5, I assume, right?
Yars.
Yar.
Mod 24.
Woo!
Oh yeah, you kill it. Like you know exactly where everything goes. You feel very comfortable with these components. So then for you, Val, since you're not a spellcaster, you can choose either your intelligence, your wisdom, or your charisma,
My
and roll one
charisma's
of
really
those.
good, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, roll that charisma, girl.
2. 8.
A total of 8.
Yeah.
Alas. So Moss gives a +2 bonus, but because Val failed, Val has a -2 penalty. So that you guys basically cancel each other out. Val, how do you think you screw up this chanting?
We're talking. I think I just got distracted.
You just like stop.
Yeah, I was just like, oh my god, that's so shiny. I like think about the butterflies again. It's just
Yeah,
like, oh,
just looking at
those were so
Something
cool.
else.
It was so many blue butterflies.
Yeah, you see a couple of butterflies go by the window, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Jrmi, you are on your own. Can I get a spellcasting check? You have advantage if you want to. If you want to use your inspiration, you have
I
advantage.
do.
Again.
I do.
So you add +5.
Oh!
I crit.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Awesome.
Read
Cool. So the summoning circle you guys are using is kind of like etched with green. What do you think this looks like? Like, what does Jrmi do that makes this work? The Thalmael's in the middle of the circle. What's the plan?
Can I chant it through my kazoo?
You 100% can. And I'll say that because you're using the kazoo and it has that weird like sound, like since a lot of the infernal is that like two voices at once, like those like chords, like it actually like really works very well with the ritual because it like sounds like it's in infernal. The kazoo adds a lot.
Okay, I'm not gonna look at him while I do this.
Oh.
Okay. So yeah, you see like as you're doing it, I guess give me a deception check. It's still gonna work, but I want to know if Thalmael knows as it's happening.
I think Moss, out of context clues, understands the ritual pretty well, and so if Thalmael looks at him, he'll probably just be like,
And I'm still convinced. I'm just like, yeah.
What was your deception? 15. I didn't hear that.
15.
15? Yeah, he buys it. He buys a hook, line, and sinker. He even buys it from Moss. Yeah. So like you're doing it, and like you see that various different sigils on the symbol start to glow and make these like pillars around him. And he's just kind of like looking around like excitedly.
That's really cool.
He's
like,
looks at me.
waves
He
by
thinks
you.
I'm like, hey, and I'm just like, bye.
Wah, wah.
It's like, yeah, bye. I'm gonna be free soon. And
Yeah, it
then
looks
there's just like this
cool.
call of green fire. And you hear him kind of go, wait, what? And you see this like massive, awful, like black hand kind of come from behind the fire and like, and he goes, no! And it is like, gone. Like there's a puff of green smoke and there's no trace of him.
Wait, hold on.
And just
What's
like a
that,
horrible
guys?
like black stain on the ceiling. Yeah.
Jeremy's gonna sit down on the ground and cry.
Wait. What?
We put the imp back in, we sent him home.
Aw. Wait, hold on. I thought.
No,
He
she
murdered a
lied.
wizard.
She lied to him.
He murdered a wizard guy.
He did murder the wizard.
Contract.
He murdered Professor.
Murder!
He was supposed to do
Bad.
something.
That's fair. That's fair. It's okay, Jrmi. It's okay.
We have consequences.
It'll be alright.
Hey, Moss will listen for a few minutes and then like,
He's bored.
they're probably not coming back for us. Like, we're here for a little while. So Moss is just like,
Yeah.
he'll give it a few minutes and maybe goes like, I wonder where the pantry is.
Ooh, I'm gonna go jump into the light again.
Yeah.
I'm just
So
gonna start,
basically
like,
at this
going up and
point,
down in the light.
yeah, you guys have run of the tower. What do you want to do? Right?
Oh, I want to go sit on George and have him romp around. Basically,
Yeah,
just like
cool.
chair rides, I guess.
Yes, I'm just gonna like do a bunch
We
of
see a
air
scene of
spins, just,
Jrmi like dancing around the library on George.
Kazoo.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm like standing.
Yeah. I think Moss will go like look for the pantry and then like call the raven.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Quoth the
So
raven.
it's just like, he'll quoth his raven and just hang out with the bird and like, whatever's there's to eat, he'll definitely smell check it before each and every bite of it.
Yeah, so like if you go up to the quarters, there's basically like a magic pantry that refills with pretty basic food. It's nothing very fancy, right? Porridge and bread and cheese and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's the same shit they send us in the lunch
Yeah, just in a different form. Yeah.
I want to do kind of like a search on every
Sure.
single floor just for weapons or whatever.
Okay, yeah. Give me a investigation in that case if you're taking your time.
Okay.
And really hunting it down.
Really good. Okay. 15?
15? Okay. As far as weapons go, there's not a whole lot here. The wizard had a bunch of stuff like in his quarters, some of which is kind of ornamental. You see that like above the fireplace, there's like that like family crest thing of like two crossed wands, right? He's got like a staff and a hat in basically a closet. It looks like his kind of thing. But I imagine he has some kind of a cool weapon that he would carry around like for display purposes, right? Like kind of like now Gandalf could wield Glamtrain, but like he's got to have a cool sword or something like that. I don't necessarily know what it is. What do you think it is, Val? What kind of weapon do you find there? A bow?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. I could see that. Maybe it's like a
Yeah.
It's like mounted. Yeah, that's a cool idea. So there's bow, and the bow is pretty simple, but he has like a quiver that has a whole bunch of different like magically treated arrows. So there's like one that's all green and weird and got leaves on it, and there's one that's sort of black as death, and there's like a whole bunch. There's like we'll say I'm gonna roll for it.
Would any of
We'll
those
say
fit
that
in
there
hand
are
crossbow?
five. There are 5 magical arrows in this quiver, and they're
Cool.
kind of different natures and properties. So if you want to take the bow and the quiver, then you basically have these 5 arrows you can shoot, and we'll just find out what they do when you hit people. Yeah.
I just want the bow. I just want a cool bow.
Oh, you know what? You don't want the arrows? Okay.
Oh, no, I'll take the arrows too, but I won't really shoot them.
The arrows are the only magical things.
Do the arrows fit in a hand crossbow?
No, they're too big.
Then never mind.
I got
I
it.
guess
I
no.
got it.
You know what? If you take it, Jrmi, and you try to like put it in the crossbow, right, or like kind of have the crossbow, it will basically shrink down.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we can
Do they
check.
regenerate into the quiver?
They do not. So when you take it out of the quiver, it is gone. Yeah.
All right.
So
All
5 arrows.
Yeah, we tried.
We also still have those 3 potions. Don't forget, or excuse me, 2 potions and 1.
Oh yeah,
sneezing
I'm gonna
powder.
use this sneezing powder on Theodwir, and I'm not gonna tell him about it. As much as possible, I'm gonna try and like stealth make him sneeze for the rest of his life.
Awesome.
I mean,
I'll have to look it up. I forget specifically how the dust of sneezing works, but I will definitely look it up. Awesome. I think that's actually where we're gonna leave you guys. Just running the tower like mad crazy people. Awesome. Yeah, it was a little bit of a shorter one because we had no Theodwir this week.
Moss is probably like posted up, like everyone's just like having fun. Moss is just getting the bed filthy, but it's like he's just like rolling around it, like this is great.
Yeah. If anything, like you make it worse there than it was. Like Felmiel was neater than you guys. Yeah. Horrible. All right. Awesome. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Sorry for the short stream today, but it's probably okay because of the holiday and everything. Again, if you're just tuning in now, is really unfortunate because we're about to end. But we are Experience Points, and we made this web series that you can watch on YouTube right now. I'm going to throw open the chat. Normally, we would do a poll at this point where we would see who do you guys think got the merit patch this week.
It was Moss this week, by the way.
No,
Definitely was Moss, obviously, but because we have to be fair to Theodwir, your retribution is delayed yet another a week. Poor Moss. But we're gonna read some of our some of our patrons. So if you guys don't follow us on Patreon yet, you can check us out on our Patreon page, which I'm about to link to in the chat. Most of you guys who are watching, I assume, are in the patron squad, but if you want to be involved in the stream even more, you can go and be a patron. People who are patrons get to vote on which kind of adventures the heroes are going to play through, all kinds of stuff like that. So go ahead and check it out. I will post a link in the chat right now. And we are going to read some of thank yous of donors who have donated and become patrons. We have 5 names here. And kind of the joke with this is that we tend to horribly mispronounce these names.
We're really good at it.
Super good. So let me get that going here in the chat so you can see what their real names are as we horribly
We'll have
mispronounce
to
them.
look from there because the list you sent me is not coming through.
Oh, I'm
some
sorry.
reason.
Who wants
Okay.
to go
So
first?
we can look at the
Yeah, we can look in the chat.
actual
Okay, cool.
names and go from there.
Awesome. I can start if you guys want. I'll start, and then each one of you guys do one, and I'll do the last one.
Sure.
Oh, sure, you can too. It's cool.
Cool. You can have 2 if you want. I just thought it's easier. I don't
Whoa,
know.
Maz.
We better
Fine,
give it
I-
to him because
I
he
only
would've
do
gotten
one.
the-
I don't want it. I don't want your feeble attempts to appease me. I'm gonna win that badge fair and square.
You gotta talk to the chat. You don't gotta talk to me about it. I'm not
I'm
voting.
talking to you, chat.
Yeah. Roll an intimidate
All right.
on chat.
So
My
first,
intimidate did not work.
wanna-
I got a 2. A mod 2.
Can I
Chad
just
is not
say the
impressed
first
with
one?
you.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a huge thank you, a massive thank you to our good friend and our patron, Timmel Axton. Thank you so much, Timmel. It means so much to us.
Go for it.
We would also really like to thank Anson Svensson.
Wow, Anton Svensson. That's so kind of you, donating $10 to
Yeah,
our
and
patron.
a huge thank you to Ilabuth Farrer.
Elabuth Farrar.
Ilabuth Farrer.
Wow. Happy to have you on board. Kevin, would you like to read the next one?
I would love to read the next one. Big thank you to Brotalty.
Juggy Brotalty. Oh, I don't know. Juggy Brotalty.
Half those letters aren't even there.
None of those letters are there. Juggy Brotalty, you are a good friend of the patron. I feel real bad. So our last thank you, of course, goes to my good friend Ron Natupisto. Thank you so much, Ron Natupisto. You're a great friend of the cast, great friend of the show, Ron Natupisto. All right, so one little bit of sad news for our fans of our stream. We are actually going to be taking the week off. We will not be here next week. I know. I'm going out of town, alas, but I am going to be in LA for a very brief window, so I think Kate and I are going to try to record something or stream something. We will keep you up to date. Please follow us on Twitter. If you don't already, I'll post a link to that in the chat.
I would like to throw out an idea.
What's your idea?
My idea is that we could Mystery Science Theater the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon for like an hour or two.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, we have it like a little tiny thing.
We can figure it out. That wouldn't be impossible. Yeah. Okay, let's figure it out. That's an interesting idea. It may not be this week, but I still think that's a fun idea. Yeah. Yes, to Shadowner in the chat. No game next week, but Theodore will have his badge the week after that. Nope. Correct, when we come back. Speaking of that week, I have the teaser, the adventure hook that was voted for that I'm going to read to you for you guys. Again, if you are not aware, you can go and, now that you're a patron, you can go and vote for these hooks. They get posted every Monday, and whichever one you guys vote for the most is going to become the hook for the next adventure that our heroes play. So let me read it for you. It says, quote, "An arch-lich has chosen a holy avenger, the symbol of a paladin's knightly order, as its phylactery." So a lich has chosen a magic weapon that is typically used by paladins as its phylactery. That's actually an idea that came from a friend of mine a long time ago, so it's going to be interesting to see it actually used in a real adventure.
Very cool.
All right. Thanks so much for playing, everybody.
Nothing says level appropriate, like level 2 up against liches.
Yeah, against an arch lich. We're going to see how well that goes. Awesome. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. We will see you in 2 weeks. You can always follow us on Twitter. Everybody say bye to the junior adventurers.
Bye.
And don't forget our super important motto. Everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. Party above! Oh no, that was really bad. We're the worst. All right, guys, have a good one. I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Bye.